Hello, third graders. We are going to go through the test that you took yesterday and make sure that you're learning all of the tricks that they will try to trick you with. Remember, at somewhere in this video, there will be a hidden question, and you will take the answer from that question and type it into the form after you finish watching the video. This just makes sure that I know that you really did watch the video. So here we go. Number one, the population of Oklahoma City in a recent year was 620,602. Which choice below shows that number? So we're going to start off looking at the very beginning, 620,000. We're not even going to pay attention to the next part. We just want to find one of these answers that says 620,000. And so let's look here at A. I see 600 million. So nope, that one can't be right. Then on B, it says 620,000. So that could be it. 602,000. Nope. Or 620,000. So we've got two answers there we could still work with. I wanted to share with you today that one of the tools that you'll notice on the state test when you get to it is there will be a little eyeball right here beside the choice. And kind of like I do whenever we get rid of answer choices that don't make any sense, you have the option to click that eyeball, and that will get rid of that choice for you so it won't be distracting you as you take the test. So we've got 620,000, and the last part is 602. 620,000, 602, 620,000, 600.2. So this one, they tried to throw you off with that decimal there. Your correct answer is B. Which digit is in the 10,000s place? Well, when you think about your two homes that we talked about at the beginning of the year, you have 3 digits in each home. So this is your ones, tens, hundreds, and then you have your comma for your thousands. We're going into the thousands home. So this is thousands, this one is 10,000, and this one is 100,000. And so we're looking for the 10,000s place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits over. The 2 is in the 10,000s place. Which choice below shows 5,280 in expanded form? We're going to go ahead and just work this out. That 5 is in the thousands place, so it is worth 5,000. That 2 is in the hundreds place. It is worth 200. The 8 is in the tens place. It is worth 80. And you can include the 0, or you don't have to include the 0 because the 0 is worth nothing. So we need to see which one of these matches what we know about expanded form. And if you look over here, there's only one that shows the 5 is worth 5,000. And it is your answer, 5,280. And they chose not to include the 0. Number 4 is right here. Let me get it on your screen good for you. There we go. Almost. Sorry, guys. There we go. The price sticker on the used car was $12,499. Nate bought the car for $1,000 less. There's our key word right there. Less means we're going down. We're going to subtract that. So we need to write out our price, $12,499. Less means going down by 1,000, and you subtract. 9 minus 0 is 9, 9 minus 0 is 9, 4 minus 0 is 4, 2 minus 1 is 1, 1 minus nothing is 1. $11,499 is your answer. Number 5, in 2007, Oklahoma celebrated its 100th-year anniversary of becoming a state. What year did Oklahoma become a state? Well, if they celebrated that in 2007, we needed to go back 100 years when they became a state. 7 minus 0 is 7. 0 minus 0 is 0. There's more on the floor. Gotta go next door and get 10 more. Give this guy his tens place. 10 minus 1 is 9. 1 minus nothing is 1. 1907, Oklahoma became a state. Number 6. This number sentence is true if the box is replaced by which number? So let's get that where you can see it better. I know that this one has to be bigger because it's opening up toward the bigger number. So I've got 5,280. That means I need a smaller number. 5,281, 5,199, 5,280, and 5,290. When I look at those, this one is equal. 5,280, those are the same number. 5,281 is more than. 5,290 is more than, but 5,100 is less than 5,200, so that is my answer that belongs in that box. Number 7, we're going to look at an array here. It says, which multiplication fact is best illustrated by this pattern of stars? So I've got 4 rows, and I've got 3 in each row. So my multiplication fact has to be 4 times 3, or I could use the commutative property, and it would be 3 times 4. So let's look through here. 6 times 2, it does have 12 stars, but they are not in 6 rows. 4 times 3 is your answer right there. This number sentence is true when the box is replaced by what number? 4 times 6 equals 8 times some number. Well, 4 times 6 means 4 groups of 6 or 6 groups of 4. We're going to use the half whole trick because it's a 6 and an even number. When I have 6 and an even number, I take half of that and then the whole thing. That leaves me with 24. If you added it up, 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 6 is 24. And I need 8 times 3 to equal 24. So I ate 3 meals in 24 hours. Therefore, the box has to be a 3. After a 300-mile road trip, the gauge on the car shows this number. What did the gauge show before the trip? Well, after the trip, that means I would have traveled more miles. So I need to go backwards to before the trip, which means I'm going to subtract. I took a 300-mile trip. So before the trip, it was 4 minus 0 is 4, 8 minus 0 is 8, 9 minus 3 is 6, and 3 minus 0 is 3, 3,684. Notice if I had added that on because I did not pay attention to the wording, if I had tried to add 300 instead, the answer is going to be over there. They are always going to try to trick you with addition. If it wants subtraction, you can bet the addition problem's going to be there. You have to know what the question is asking, and in this case, it told you to subtract. Number 10, Guthrie School has 119 students, and Williams School has 98 students. All together, there's an addition word. The two schools have about how many students? We also have a rounding because of that word about. So we're going to take 119. We're going to take 98. All together told us to add. If I look over here, my answer choices, I have 1 0, 1 0, 1 0, and 2 zeros. Since the majority of my answers have 1 0, I'm going to round to the nearest 10 because 10 has 1 0. All of the others have more than 1 0. So we'll go ahead and round, add here. Rounding to the nearest 100 is 100. Oh, I didn't want nearest 100. I want to the nearest 10, just like we talked about. Round to the nearest 10. That gives me 120. And rounding this one to the nearest 10 gets me 100. So the correct answer there is 220, which is letter C. Number 11, Rita was really enjoying her book. She started the day on page 65. At the end of the day, she was on page 154. How many pages did Rita read that day? So I've got 154 is how she ended the day, and she started the day at 65. You think about your triangle, 154 is the total pages that she's read over the last few days, and then she started the day at 65. We want to know how many pages she read today. So we are subtracting here. There's more on the floor. Go next door and get 10 more. 14 minus 5 is 9. There's more on the floor. Go next door and get 10 more. 14 minus 6 is 8. And 0 minus 0 is 0. 89 is your answer. Again, if you had added those because you didn't know what to do, the answer choice will be over there. 219. They always use addition whenever you're supposed to subtract, and they always use subtraction when you're supposed to add. Make sure you know your key words. They're very important. Number 12. The 30 classroom desks were arranged in 5 equal groups. When I see that equal groups, I automatically think multiplication. How many desks were in each group? So there's 30 total desks, and they're arranged into equal groups. Each could tell me to multiply, or it could tell me to divide. It's my job to figure out which one it wants it to do. So in this case, we have 30 total desks. We're going to put that in our triangle. 30 total desks put into 5 groups. We're looking for another small number, which means we're dividing. You can also think of that word as they were split those desks up into 5. So that's like saying 30 divided by 5. Some number times 5 equals 30. If you count by your 5s there, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, it took you 6 5s to get to 30. So the correct answer is 6. Number 13, the cashier opened a roll of quarters. A roll of quarters equals $10. How many quarters are in a roll? Well, I know that it takes 4 quarters to equal $1. So I want to know how many quarters it's going to be to equal $10. I'm going to have to take 4 times 10, and that's going to give me 40 quarters in a roll. Just in case that didn't make sense, let's go ahead and do $2 would be 8 quarters. $3 would be 12 quarters, and the pattern would continue until you get to $10 over here, and you would be up to 40 quarters. At Fulton Elementary School, there are 9 classrooms with about 23 students in each class. The classroom has how many students? That word there tells us to round. We've got 23 students, and we've got 9 classrooms, and we're supposed to round. So on this one, it's best to go ahead and work it out and then round. I could go ahead and say that or 23 is close to 20 and do 20 times 9, but that answer is not over here. So I would probably want to do 23 times and say 9 is close to 10, and that's easy for me to figure out because I can do my basic fact. 23 times 1 is 23, and then I add a 0, which is 230. I also hear some of you will like to just find the answer and then round it later. That works most of the time too if you're stuck. So you can do 9 times 3 is 27. Carry that 2 up to your plus box. 9 times 2 is 18, 19, 20. So you can see our answer's quite a bit off whenever we're rounding. That probably won't help you a whole lot. You're going to need to know we have to round first. Just like we did when we got to the rounding unit. You have to round first, because if you try to round second, you're going to be liable to pick this 210 because that's what you're closest to here. But the goal of rounding is you want to make it easy to add, subtract, multiply, or divide in your head. Because if you're in the grocery store trying to buy something, you don't always have a calculator with you. So you have to learn to do this in your head and get a good estimate for your answer. And rounding first, it gives you a different estimate than if you did the actual answer. If you got the actual answer, you wouldn't need to estimate. You would know exactly how many you had. So keep that in mind when you're doing your assignments. Which choice below shows this fraction in words? This says 3 out of 8 or 3/8. Remember that bottom number gets a THS on it. So we have 3/8. Nope. 3/8. See that THS? 38. This is not 38. That would look like this. And 8/3. Nope, that would look like this. 8/3. So the only answer there is 3/8. Number 16, which model is not 3/4? We want to know which one does not equal 3/4. Well, this one has 3 shaded out of 4. This one has 3 shaded out of 4. This one has 3 shaded out of 4. This one has 3 shaded out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's one that is not 3/4. If you weren't reading carefully, you would not have looked at that word not. Make sure that you know what you're looking for. Read every word. Number 17, which choice below equals 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5? If I have a candy bar and I cut it into 5 equal pieces, and I take 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5, that leaves me with 3/5 of that candy bar. The correct answer is 3/5. A whole pizza was cut into 8 equal slices. 3 friends each took a slice. Let's get rid of the ones the friends took. 3 friends took a slice. Oh, they did it over here. Sorry about that. Then what fraction of the pizza is still here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of, there were still 8 pieces to begin with. So 5 out of 8 is still here. C. Number 19. Which number below is true? Which number sentence below is true about these fractions? Well, you see the gray area, that's what we're looking at. This fraction is 1/2. And then here's the gray area that we're looking at. And it is 1 out of 3. So we want to know which one is bigger. Well, just looking at it, if I compared them, I would see that over here I've got way more shaded. So 1/2 has to be greater than 1/3. I can also use my cross multiply method. And I know 2 times 1 is 2. And 3 times 1 is 3. So that means 3 is bigger than 2. 1/2 is bigger. Let's come over here and find that. 1/2 is greater than 1/3. 1/3 is greater than 1/2. Nope. 1/2 and 1/3 are equal. Nope. 1/2 is greater than 2/3. This is not 2/3. That one cannot be right. Number 20. It's a number line with our fractions this time, and it wants us to put them in order from least to greatest. That means small to big. Get that where you can see it, small to big. Anything that's closer to the number 1 over here is our big fraction. Anything that's closer to the 0 is our small fraction. So they helped you out by giving you a number line. When they help you out, use what they give you. So we've got 1/4. Here's 1/4, 3/4, and 2/4. And it wants us to start with the small one. So that would be 1/4. Then we would go to 2/4, then we would go to 3/4. 1/4, 3/4. Nope. This one does not start with 1/4. This one does not start with 1/4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. There's your answer. Number 21. We need to find out the value of this set of coins. This is a penny. A quarter, you can put 5 dots on, those of you that like the dot method. A dime, you can put 2 dots on because it is worth 10 cents. 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Here's another quarter. We know that because of some kids in class have said, hey, look at the ponytail. That's right. You know it's a quarter when you see that ponytail. Quarters get 5 dots for 25 cents. Here's another ponytail. The nickel and the quarter both have them. And then we've got another penny. If you don't recognize it, it says it right there on the back. Same thing right here on the back of a dime. It says it right there. On the back of a quarter, it says $quarter to let you know what those coins actually mean. So now we can just count after we have our dot method. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 66, 67, 67 cents. Those of you that like to count just the money, you've got 2 quarters. There's 50 cents. Plus a dime gets me to 60 cents. A nickel gets me to 65 cents. And 2 pennies gets me to 67 cents. Whatever way works for you is the right way to do it. Number 22. There we go. Terry has 1 $5 bill, 3 $1 bills. That's worth $3. 5 quarters, 6 dimes, 1 nickel, and 6 pennies. All right, we want to know how much money he has. So right now he has $8 in paper money. Another 4 quarters is another dollar. We circle our dollar. Then we're just going to count here. 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96 cents. So we have 8 plus $1 is $9. And we just got to 96 cents. $9.96. Rob held 32 cents in his hand. What's the smallest number of coins that total 32 cents? Start with your chart. We've been doing these on Spiral Review. Quarter, dime, nickel, penny. And we need to fit 32 cents into our chart. I can fit 1 quarter. That gets me to 25 cents. I can't fit a dime. That would put me up to 35 and it's too big. I can put a nickel in there. That gets me to 30 cents. And then 2 pennies gets me to 32 cents. So I had 2, 3, 4 coins is the fewest coins possible that I can use. Number 24, before we go through this problem, I'm going to tell you your subject of the day today. Your subject of the day is math. Make sure you type that into the form after you complete this video in just a second. This list shows the number of days in 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 weeks. How many days are in 6 weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, and we are looking for the missing number. Each week has 7 days. We plus 7 in the middle there on every one of those. So our rule is plus 7. So to find that last one, we need to add 7 more. 35 plus 7 is 42. And your last one today, number 25, says which rule could be used to change the input number to the output number? 3 goes in our machine and comes out a 6. What happened inside this rule or inside this machine? I could have added 3 or I could have multiplied by 2. We better check another one. I stick a 6 in and it pops out a 12. 6 plus 3 is 9, so that did not work. But 6 times 2 is 12. And if I put an 8 in, I get a 16 out. So it must be multiply by 2. All right, guys, have a good afternoon, and I will see you again on Friday when we go over your next test. Bye-bye.